unlike ways we express ourselves through clothes, facial expression, and the way we carry our body. Your resume is not meant to highlight your personality. So in a world where you're confined to the same sheet of paper, how will you stand out? Hi, my name is Suman and I talk about interviews and jobs. Today's topic is resume, the one piece of paper that thousands of applicants spend hours agonizing over. To get to the punchline first, don't spend hours on the resume. And don't get too creative on formatting, sizing, fonts. You should focus on a few critical rules when it comes to resume writing, rather than spending a lot of hours on it. This is Jeff. He is an interviewer. Look at how much time he spends reading through each resume. On average, based on a survey by ladders.com, interviewers spend less than 6 seconds reading through a resume. Typically, spending more time fine-tuning a resume is an activity that makes you feel good that you're spending some time towards your job search, when truly that time should be spent on informational interviews, coffee chats, talking to career counselors, or even getting a certification. So the key question is this candidate good enough to interview? And answering that in 6 seconds. Rule number 1, speak their language. Whether you're moving in the same industry, same domain or job type, or outside, you need to make sure that the reader can understand the language on your resume. But how do you do that? 3 actions. Number 1, review their job description and use the words that they're using to describe what you have done in the past. Number 2, look at the job roles in LinkedIn for that company and make sure your past roles are equivalent to something that company speaks to. Junior level positions, senior level positions. If your company uses a different title, you may want to explain what that's equivalent to. And 3, use simpler words. When it comes to language on the resume, the simpler, the better. Rule number 2, meet the job qualifications. If the job qualification asks for experiences and/or certifications, make sure that's easy to find. Consider a certification or qualification section in your resume, or make sure your previous experiences align well with the future role that you're applying to. Rule number 3, make your resume current. Why are we doing this? Humans tend to discount things that happened in the past. It's called the recency bias. And so it's important to highlight what you've done recently. In a resume, make sure the top half of the resume consists of the most recent 2 years worth of experience, whether that's your recent education or your previous job. Other frequently asked questions are not as straightforward yes or no answers. So I've asked our interviewer Jeff on these following questions. Some people write an executive summary on top. Is this needed? As an interviewer, I don't see a lot of benefit to the executive summary. Perhaps it's useful for a recruiter if they're trying to match you to a role. But by the time you've applied to the position and I'm your hiring manager, I don't really see additional benefit. What about your thoughts on creative resume layouts and formatting? Is that recommended? No, you should keep it simple. If you have previous work that needs to be added on top of your resume, send a link or your portfolio. Resume bullets. What do you actually write in that? What stands out? Use numbers. You can quantify your results, number of team members, number of workshops, whatever it may be. It really allows you to anchor on that point when you're reading the resume and provides more specificity. 2-page resumes? I know that in certain sectors, 2-page resumes may be more of the norm, but you should keep in mind that regardless, they're not going to be spending a lot of time on your resume. So unless there's a compelling reason to make your resume lengthy, you should stick to 1 page if possible. That's it for today's video. Make sure to subscribe and hit the like button if you enjoyed the content. This resume looks like a qualified candidate. Perhaps I'll ask her for an interview. You got your resume. How are you going to land that interview?